Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Wow. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great day. Okay, apparently we're having a couple of feedback issues. Wow. Okay, I thought I'd resolve that. Having a couple of feedback issues. There we go. Resolved. Okie dokies. Let's see what we can do today. Okay, let's move these chat boxes to the side here a little bit. Have to rearrange this every single time. Normally, I have the starting now splash screen to avoid these echo feedback loops. I click on things and apparently the click did not go through. So I do apologize. Okay, so let's get into it for the most part. I guess there's a couple of topics that we need to address. One of those being that Dr. Jordan Peterson had to go to court and basically said that your Charter of Rights about freedom of speech is more or less not a real right. It's more of a guideline to the law and not a law per se. So, if you have a message that contradicts the current government, the judges that are so paid by the government kind of have to cater to their bosses. And thus, it's not the judge's fault, but they receive instructions from the government, and therefore Dr. Peterson's right of free speech is, well, he can still say what he wants. It's just that now he has to go in apparently in social media rehabilitation. Now, I don't know what that is, and I hope that one day my YouTube channel doesn't have to go through similar things. That would be just crazy. But the world is coming to whatever it is coming to. And you see how, as a citizen, as a taxpayer, I have known for a long time that there are inequalities and injustices. Growing up, you are encouraged to believe that it is once in a blue moon, but for the most part, it works. At 50 years of age, yeah, I don't really share that point of view anymore. So, I don't want to get into trouble. Let's just say that the system is not perfect and can always, there's room for improvement, to say the least. Okay, so I don't know if you saw my show yesterday or my review of Ahsoka. Wow, was I ever upset by that. I mean, totally and utterly upset by a show that had so much potential. And today, I also learned that Disney came out with a list of 15 shows, episodes, and specials from the animated series that you have to watch to understand what is going on in the current series of Ahsoka. which is completely and utterly okay. For the most part, people view the animated series as something that is oriented for children. Take it with a grain of salt, because I obviously watched the Clone Wars. I watched a couple of the Rebels episode, did not like it, had a hard time finding time to watch those back in the day. So, not a good place to be overall. And it turns out that watching these previous episodes to understand the current series will end up taking more time than the duration of the television live series. Wow. So, yeah, it's like saying, okay, well, we're going to have a Batman series, but you're going to have to watch and read all the previous comic books to understand what's going on. We are not going to address that in the series. I don't know how and why they came to this conclusion. I think it's Disney just trying to promote their materials because story-wise, you can easily introduce a new character at any moment without getting into the origin of that character's storyline. You can have a story with inserts of who, why, and where. That don't require any previous comprehension. That's good storytelling. I don't think that Dave the Phony, whatever his name is, uh, knows how to do television or movies or anything. You know, he might be really knowledgeable about previous Star Wars material. Having said that, he may or may not know how to direct and write a script. Okay, if you hear a helicopter in the background, they are still searching for a missing person. There's a lot of countryside to explore here, and I don't know how much this is costing. But yeah, so there's a helicopter and a lot of groups combing the woods and the fields looking for a missing person. I don't know why they would think that he would actually be in the middle of a field somewhere. Nonetheless, I apologize because I do like having a breeze of cool air coming through. So yeah, coming back to Ahsoka. Yesterday I was very upset and I watched the second episode last night. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, once I got the frustration out and I started watching the second show, I was disassociated from the franchise, disassociated from the characters. I am tuned out, to say the least. And sorry to say, I was just there watching. I'm not even trying at this point to understand the story. I'm not. Yes, here and there was one scene that I really like when the witch opens up the map and it's all around you and she supposedly hears the voice of Thrawn and calling him, and we are building a ship to go and get him. A ship that can travel between galaxies. Interesting concept, except that I don't care anymore because most of the story doesn't do it for me. Having a long, dragged out scene about a girl cutting her hair because that's what makes her a new person. When a woman cuts her hair, that's when she becomes mature. That's what I got from that episode, which may or may not reflect reality. I don't know anymore. Yes, I kind of understand that they want to put a significance in the show, but it just why? Why is this important? Why do we have to go through this long and dragged out thing? A lot of things, okay, well, there's a shipyard, but apparently the old empire is running the things in disguise, but nobody notices it. It's sad to see what that Disney's habit of writing stuff in just because the plot needs it to move forward. How, why, who, where, not important. This happens just because we need something to happen. So I may or may not do another video on Ahsoka. I probably will, but I'll keep it a lot shorter. I will not rant as much, and you will see less of my frustrations doing it, obviously. I gotten it out of my system. It's hard for somebody that cares so much about a character and seeing the potential of that character. In somewhat ways, I feel like even though Ahsoka wasn't my character, I feel like I'm the father of Ahsoka, if that makes any sense. And just to see if it, not even, I can't even compare it to that because it's not really Ahsoka that's throwing her life away. It's Disney, the corporation, that is wasting so much potential. Even little things. Like in the first couple of scenes, you see Ahsoka arriving, walking, and getting into the Temple of Doom kind of a situation where she pulls out both of her lightsabers and she used to use them to do the circle. Now she force wields her lightsabers. So I'm guessing they couldn't find a stunt actress to do holding the lightsabers and doing it. They couldn't do it in CGI. And it was just easier to have the character there and force wheel the lightsabers to cut an opening in a circle without having the actor or stunt actor do the work. Hey, before the Hobbit, yep, I'm still talking about Ahsoka. You saw them too? I was so I mean, coming from Disney, I was expecting it bad and I was hoping so much I would be pleasantly surprised. And no, it's beyond disappointment. It's frustrating. Yeah, I managed to watch episode 2 last night and it's just I'm lacking the words. I'm just disconnected. I watched the second episode having relieved all my frustrations out from the first episode. Yeah, seeing people getting stabbed by a lightsaber and barely having a scar, like really? Luke Skywalker had a mechanical hand after his hand was cut off. They could not regrow his hand. The technology wasn't there yet, I guess. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, I guess. I'm still gonna watch it because it is like my most beloved character since Luke Skywalker. I mean, okay, they go into the prequels and go into Anakin's story, but Anakin's arc of falling in love and turning to the dark side to protect the ones he loves. Okay, we understand Lord Vader's backstory, but the hero was still Luke, the always optimist person that we saw destroyed in the sequels. Okay. Yeah. No, I am that's why I wasn't anyways. Yeah. I got my frustrations out. I was able to watch the second episode and I'll watch the other episodes. I'm just not connected in good storytelling. I'm not expecting good storytelling because the story moves along at an unnatural pace. They just throw things there that to move the plot forwards. But but then luckily I saw another show, Special Ops Lioness, which I am really liking. I'm really liking that show a lot. I do have to admit, yesterday's show was like not the best one so far. Probably I guess the one that you can call a filler. I mean, the story's still going along. There's certain things happening at the government level. It was Morgan Freeman's first appearance on screen. And but all the other characters kind of had weird stories. I was kind of disappointed that the lioness and her mark are getting into a relationship where one's about to get married and she's like, I'll find the lioness, her new best friend, a suitable husband. And then out of nowhere, a sort of romance happens between both women. And I'm like, oh man, okay. I guess I can kind of understand. But then the girl is like, well, I am a Muslim and I can't say no to the wedding because I'll dishonor my family and the other family. I thought that women on women stuff would be so fundamentally against her religion that that would not even happen in the show. So I was kind of taken, just after the long speech of her upbringing, then she goes and does this. So, okay, in one way, she is rebelling from the fact that she needs to get married. She doesn't agree with it. She would like to find true love and is not happy about the family's decision to marry her to this individual. But then the plot, like okay, there are people on a steakhouse, and strangely enough, people do a home invasion to rob the house where the special ops team is staking out. So yeah, the people that you do not want to come across when doing a home invasion probably is a special ops team. So things don't go good for the home invaders, but it was still funny to see how they resolved it by blindfolding them and scaring them and then giving them money to run away. Yes, crime pays, apparently. That's the message I got from that. Not a good thing. So, like I said, the entire show felt like a filler. Apart from this, we're getting into the discussions at the government level, and actually, there's like two. One's, is head of the CIA. Her husband, I don't know exactly what he does, but apparently he's more attached to the Senate and stuff like that. And they go back and forth with information because one is supposed to not reveal secrets to the other, but they kind of do, but in a way that's intriguing. And one is always like, you're not asking the right question. And one is like, well, we'll be able to put, so many barrels of oil back into circulation. And then the government is kind of, are you sure that that's a good thing? I don't think my government wants the price of fuel to go back down and supplies to resume. It's like we want to jack up the price of petroleum. So, what is happening here at the government level? I really, really found that interesting. And it takes up a good third of the show, but then the other two-thirds of the show kind of felt to me like a filler, kind of felt out of place, was entertaining. You can see the human side of every, special agent and their personal lives and what they have to do to balance professional life and personal lives. But hopefully the show will kick back into gear next week. So I was just happy to have another show that was, although all my complaints that I just said there, that's like 1,000 better than Ahsoka. Ahsoka, it's just, I don't know where that show is going. Really, putting a tracking device on the ship is the only way to track it. I mean, if we put a tracking something, I don't know. I guess it's a good thing that that ship did not decide to warp itself, galactic, I don't know, subspace, whatever they want to call it, into another galaxy. What happens if you put a tracking system on a spaceship and instead of going to some place on Earth, it goes to Mars? How is the GPS going to find the tracker signal? Do we have GPS satellites floating all over space to let us know where we're driving our car on Mars? So I kind of get disconnected when people put tracking devices on spaceships. Like, you have this little portable battery unit that's going to send its location halfway across the galaxy. It makes no sense to me. I guess there's a fusion core inside this little tracking device. Hmm. Yeah. Strange things, stranger things. And I don't know, the timing for Ahsoka is really bad. It should have come out this summer. Like, there's 2 or 3 or 4 shows going on. We're halfway through their seasons, and then Ahsoka comes out and kind of tries to steal the spotlight, except it's not a good show. So it just discourages people from watching entertainment. But Foundation is still really, really good. I really enjoyed Domina, which is strong women in a very well scripted story. Special Ops Lioness, for the most part, like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed by yesterday's show. And once more, I apologize for the helicopters around my house here. They are still looking for that missing person. which I understand, but I don't understand. It's like they're really convinced that somehow that person went into the middle of a field and disappeared. So I'm wondering, should I be scared? Is there like a crazy person going around hacking people and burying them in the middle of a field? From what I got, is that this was an individual that liked to drinks, has a hard time walking. So if he drinks and he falls down, he could hurt himself and he's missing. Okay. I mean, if he drinks and got into a fight and pissed off somebody and somebody whacked him for that, I mean, okay. Then maybe they are not looking for a missing person, they are looking for a body. Somebody to have disposed of him somewhere. I don't know. I don't want to get into this. It's just that I'm finding it very unusual that somebody that has a hard time walking would end up in the middle of the woods and they're looking for him and combing. And there's a couple of fields, but somebody would not bury him in a field. Or maybe the helicopter is just going above to see any trails that go into the woods to point out the land people where to go and search. Oh, this area might be, revealing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how missing persons work. It's just very strange. Because I don't know. I come from Montreal. If there's a missing person, you don't see the helicopters flying over the city looking for them. But out here in the country, you go missing, a helicopter appears looking for you. Yeah, so many teenagers run away from home. So many children disappear, I don't want to think about all these things. But they'll put a special bulletin in the news saying this and such person, if you have any information, please contact. But having here in the middle of nowhere, helicopters, and I must have seen easily 20 officers in the field yesterday that came down my lawn coming back from the field. Strange things, really strange. Like I said, I hope that they find them, but well, yeah. So do give Special Ops the Lioness a chance. Watch that series. Watch Domina if you want to see strong woman plotting and you know enabling an emperor, Roman emperor back in the day. Very interesting story. If you love sci-fi, watch The Foundation. It is tenfold better than Disney's Ahsoka Star Wars spin-off. And hopefully you found some information in this show useful. Did you watch Foundation? Foundation is absolutely great. It's based on novels and it is well done, and every show leaves me on the cliffhanger that I'm looking forward to the next show. It's really, really good. I am liking it. I'm liking the concepts. I'm liking how there is this dynasty that's going on through cloning, and that they also have a butler who's AI, and somehow all of this is outlawed, but for the dynasty, it's okay. It's really, really whacked. It's interesting to see how they have three clones, an elder, a middle age, and a young one, cohabitating so that one learns from the other, and how one wants to go back to making babies like they used to back in the day. It's a clash of all kinds of concepts that people debate, and the religious fanatics that rise up, create an army to revolt against the dynasty. It's really all I really like it. And it's good storytelling. It's the script makes sense. Some of the situations, meeting your daughter that's almost older, the same age as you are, because you were in cryo sleep for space travel or in a stasis pod, all of you end up meeting your children that are your age. All concepts that are interesting to talk about. I really like this show. There's not only bad stuff out there, there's really, really good stuff. So, okay, I am getting hungry, so it is time for me to wish you all to be really safe out there. Main thing, have fun. We only have one life. Enjoy it while respecting everybody's liberties. Hope things work out for Dr. Jordan Peterson. And hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow in the next show or later on because I do live broadcasts throughout the day of different subjects and topics. Sometimes I even game online. On a side note, I am still looking for somebody to co host, to do collaborations with, to do these reviews. And I appreciate and thank you to all my viewers and subscribers. Without you, I would not be here. So, thank you again, Prefer the Hobbit, for joining in my show. And hopefully, you'll be joined by many, many more subscribers soon. So, bye bye for now. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Uh, whether it is on Twitch, YouTube, come and talk to me in Discord. The links are in my profile, it's easy to find. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you again so much.